Hello everyone, good evening. Give me a thumbs up if you're here and you can see me. Let me know where you're coming from in the comments below. I'm just going to get started. So if you don't know me, my name is Sam and I'm an Arbonne independent consultant, and whoever invited you on tonight, I am basically their mentor or coach, and I'm here to just talk about the makeup that Arbonne has to offer, but also to actually put it on with you. So I'm going to do a glowy everyday face, and that's why I've got my hair pulled right back, just so you can focus on the face. I've got bare skin, and hopefully there's enough light. Let me know. I might turn this up a little bit. Good old ring light. They blind you, but I think we're good. But I'm going to start off, just in case, with some skincare. And this is just some makeup wipes. These are compostable makeup wipes. Dissolve the day. I really love this lid. Look at this. It snaps locked. Love it. So I'm just going to wipe my skin with that. As you know, Arbonne, or maybe you don't know, Arbonne do skincare. That is their core line. Basically, we started off with RE9 anti-aging skincare. Now this has got, these wipes have got the tiniest little bit of texture to it. So they're actually like really getting the dirt off your face. So I haven't really done anything or been anywhere today. I've been barefaced all day. However, these would take off a whole face of my makeup and with one wipe. So if I wanted to just be lazy, maybe it's been a big night, or maybe I am about to go to the gym after work and I don't want to have a full face of makeup on, then one of these would be sufficient. But if you get the chance, use the full RE9 set to cleanse your face. The RE9 cleanser itself is actually my favorite cleanser to actually get all makeup off, all traces of makeup, even my eye makeup. And then I really like the Prep Work cleansing polish as an exfoliator. So we've just cleaned our skin, and you can go all over with this. Don't waste it. It's amazing. Underarms even, if you wanted to. So they are the facial cleansing cloths. And then I'm just going to spray some toner on. This is from the RE9 line. It's huge. Look at that. And it's a spray toner, as you saw. And this is going to just tighten my pores and prep my skin. It really preps your skin ready for serum in the skincare step. But I just like that refreshment. And then my skin is just, as it's drying, it's getting ready for the best makeup application possible. Now, the best makeup application comes with great skin. So this is why I'm focusing on that. But the one thing that I see with clients when I'm doing their makeup, and just get these hairs out of the way, it's annoying me, is dry skin. So make sure you are using an exfoliator of some sort, whether it's that Prep Work cleansing polish or the nightly resurfacing pads are amazing. Use an exfoliator if you want really flawless makeup finish. So the next thing I'm going to use is this primer. This is probably the number 2 selling product that Arbonne has to offer. I'm just going to use a little bit, about that much. It's very velvety. It's makeup primer, so you might have heard the phrase, it's a crime not to prime. I never primed before I used Arbonne. And I don't want to use any other primer because I've actually tried a few since. I did makeup school, 2 years ago now. And the makeup that we would have to put on ourselves and other students was absolutely disgusting. I would take it off before I went anywhere after school because it was just not good. So this is really velvety. I love this primer. I've actually got some prices here for you. So this is $46.40 for PCs. If you don't know what a PC is, it's a preferred client. That's basically you being a VIP client of the person who invited you along. So make sure you talk to them about it. But primer, it's really diminishing the appearance of lines and also pore size. So it's kind of, I've heard a couple of my clients actually call it spack fill, if anyone knows what that is. They get very excited about their spack fill. Now the next thing I'm actually going to use is the CC cream, and I am rushing through these, but I'll put a list in the comments after I finish so that you can, and a link as well, and make sure you talk to the person who invited you along and they can give you all the details as well. But This is just a glowy day face for everyday skin. I actually have oily skin, so I would do it a little bit differently. And if you prefer more powder-based products rather than cream products, then make sure you have a chat and ask some questions about that as well. Now, this is the new CC cream. This is the one with SPF and pollution defense. So SPF broad spectrum 30, and the pollution defense is actually going to like keep out up to some of the tiniest little pollution, what's the word? I can't think of the word, microns, the tiniest little amounts. So air conditioning, outside pollutants, if you're living in the city or even living in the country, maybe it smells, even office pollutants, on public transport, all that kind of stuff. CC cream is so amazing, best I've ever used. Yes, it really is amazing. If you don't know what CC cream, it's a bit like BB cream, which you might have heard of a lot, but CC is actually complexion correction. I've just got a damp beauty blender here, and it is clean, and I'm just going to pat that in, but you can totally use your fingers. This everyday face is meant to be quite quick, so this is why I chose the CC cream, because as you can see, it actually blends into your skin tone and complexion corrects, and actually color corrects as well. So that's why it's a very limited color range. There's only 4 colors. There's light, there's fair, which is a little bit pink based. This one is medium, and I have, you know, kind of pale to olive skin, and then a dark color as well. And I'm just going all over my eyelid as well. We're not going to be too fussy. I am using minimal tools here today to make it as easy for you all as possible. Flip the beauty blender around and get into the cracks. And you can see it's taken away the redness around my nose. I've got some broken capillaries around my nose here. I had a fair few bags under my eyes, and you can see it's just correcting as we go along. Even it's getting rid of those veiny looking, like sometimes I get purple and blue veins across my eyelid. Anyone who's getting a little bit older will notice that. And it's just color correcting everything as we go along. It doesn't matter that if I get it into the hairs of my eyebrows, I'm really working it into my hairline as well. It's very creamy consistency, but it's lightweight and buildable. So if I wanted a bit more coverage, I could definitely do a second coat of this, and it still wouldn't look like I had caked on makeup. This is the best thing about Arbonne makeup, is you actually forget you're wearing it. It's so soft, it's so smooth, and it's full of botanicals. So if you don't know, Arbonne are, all their makeup is gluten-free, botanically based, safer makeup that is ophthalmologist tested, dermatologist tested, all third-party tested as well, so that's non-biased, and that's very rare. Also vegan. Now, the CC cream, this particular one with SPF, retail is $44.80 for PCs. Actually contains phytonol and argan oil. That's what gives it its radiant finish. So the original CC cream, I find, is a little bit more radiant than this one. I find this one almost a zinc-like quality, but nowhere near as heavy, if that makes sense. So still got that breathability. It's 13 in 1, so I actually didn't need to prime, but I love the primer, so I had to include that in and talk about it. And make sure you go underneath your neckline as well, of course. Okay, you can go all the way down your décolletage, or whatever you say as well, however you want to say that. Pop the beauty blender aside. Now I'm just going to go under my eyes, and maybe if you can see some spots on my forehead, with the concealer. This is the, what's it called? Can't remember what it's called. Someone remind me what it's called. The Real Conceal. There you go. The Real Conceal Concealer. And this one is in light. I actually have pretty much every shade of concealer because I love them. They're great for contouring, highlighting, using as like primers on your eyes to actually hold eyeshadow in place. But I've just gone very gently. You don't need to do big triangles like all the YouTube girls do. Very gently under my eye and just tapping that in. Now a beauty blender is really good, but you can also use a Arbonne flat foundation makeup brush, which looks like this. If you want to grab the Arbonne makeup brush set, it's all vegan. I love it. It's really nice and easy to clean as well. And it's in a little pouch, so you can actually store some of your makeup in that and take that with you wherever you go. So when you're traveling, it's your day face, night face, everything in one. I love the Arbonne products for their versatility. I'm just going to put the tiniest bit on there because I don't need too much. You don't want to look like you're completely covered, and you just don't with Arbonne, but just lightly dabbing that and blending that in. So let me know, what is your experience with makeup? What are some of your concerns about makeup? Look at that. Nearly invisible. Love it. You can also use these down the sides of your nose if it's a darker color, but what we're actually going to move on to next is the Starlight Glow palette. This actually has new packaging, so it's white and pink now, so it's a lot prettier. But basically, this was a product that came out a couple of Christmases ago, and it lasts forever. This is why I haven't got the new packaging, is because I've used this pretty much I would say at least 3 times a week since 2 Christmases ago. Now it has a blush color, a very different skin tone, like all skin tone kind of suitable blush. It has a highlighter kind of shimmer there. It has a bronzer with a tiny touch of shimmer, and it's a nice deep bronzer that isn't dirty. And then it has this really perfect buildable shade of non-shimmer contour. So this is the kind of contour that we're going to put here, and you don't want that to have shimmer in it, because you want that to kind of fade into the background. That's where you want your cheeks to kind of look like they're thinner. So you want a contour powder that doesn't have shimmer, and this has all of that in it, and this great big mirror as well. So love this. It's also magnetic close. It's not going to get damaged in any kind of travel. And then again, I'm just using an Arbonne brush, and we're going to actually hold the brush like this, and we're going to dip into that contour and go from the top of your ear almost to the corner of your mouth, but you don't want to hit these lines here, because that's going to give you that's going to actually define that line, and you don't want to do that. I mean, laugh lines are amazing and smile lines are amazing, but we don't want to accentuate them. See how that instantly, look at that side of the face, and it looks what word was I going to say there? Fuller. And this side looks a little bit more lean. We've just gone over that once, go over it again. You can tap the side of your, you might have seen some YouTubers tapping the side. That's just getting the excess off. But what you'll find with Arbonne products is there's not a lot of fallout. So there's not a lot of powder that's going to actually go all over the place, unless you are using the setting powder. And I highly recommend that you use the mesh top on that, because that's going to save powder from going everywhere. But just with a couple of strokes, that one's a little bit darker. So we're actually just going to blend that up and around our forehead as well. So if you have a high forehead, you might just want to put a little bit of contour into the hairline there, and that will bring the size of your forehead down a little bit. It's all about balancing the face shape. So I'm kind of doing a little bit of a C shape here, and then again you can go underneath and you've created the like backwards E. So now we're using the fullness of the brush instead of holding it, and we're just very gently blending everything in. You can have the most simple makeup ever. As long as it's blended, it will look elegant, sophisticated, chic. It doesn't matter what age you are. The better blended your makeup, the more youthful you will look. Now this Starlight Glow highlight palette is $80 for PCs. Definitely giving you that radiance, that glow, the luminosity that you want, and also highlight. Now, a lot of older people say to me, I don't want to use any highlight. I'm just going to go in with the blush color now. You can see it's kind of like a very peachy pink, but not strong at all. So if you want to find out where the apples of your cheeks are, use a smile, and you literally want to dab that in a circular motion on those apples of your cheeks, okay? And give it a bit. If you want a bit more of a flushed glow, see how it's slightly flushed? I like it to look a little bit more flushed. Always look in comparison. A little bit more flushed. So I'm going to go in quite heavy on the swirling motion right there. And then I'm actually going to flick that right back to the top of the ear as well. So it blends in. You actually don't have a streak then and another streak. They're blended in. It's nice and soft. It all looks very natural. And a lot of people say that about Arbonne makeup, especially my clients when I'm putting it on them, and they're like, what are you using on me? This is amazing. It's a great conversation starter if you're a makeup artist or you know a makeup artist. We recently have a new girl that started in our team who is a beautician, and she's, you know, people that are in this industry, they want a product that they can order and recommend to their clients, that they don't need a certain dollar amount spend every month. They don't need a stock on their shelves if they don't want to, something that they're in control of. But also there's a demand for safer, cleaner products and botanically based products as well. So this is providing that for them, and they can use it as a side income to their existing industry-based business. Okay, so just check your balance and make sure your face is very even in the positioning of your colors. And again, just the excess, you can put that right around in a C shape on your face. And you might have saw before that I just held my brush and went down my nose, contouring that as well. You can do it on the edge if you like. It depends on your face shape. If you have a thin nose, don't worry about it. But back to the highlighter, a lot of people say to me in the older age group, look, I don't want to use highlight too much. We're just going to use it right now. I'm going to use it just under, because I'm talking about it, but I should use it after. Just going to use it just under that brow bone, and it's going to give you a brow lift instantly. Instant brow lift. But don't be scared of this. Highlighter and shimmery shades, I'm going to talk more about it on eyeshadow, but shimmery shades are not that scary on parts of your body where you want to bring them forward. So we want to bring our cheekbones out, okay? This is what highlighter is doing. It's enhancing your cheekbones and the height of your cheekbones. And, you know, that's the state of elegance, right? So don't be afraid to put highlighter on your actual face. It's avoiding the shimmery tones on the more crepey areas of your face, like your actual eyelids. That's where you would avoid shimmery shades if you had quite a lot of wrinkles, okay? So don't be scared of it. And we're just very lightly putting it under that brow bone, and you can layer this as much or as little as you want. But I kind of like a strobe effect without looking like I'm going to a festival. But that's for a basic everyday glow. People will comment, they're like, wow, you look so healthy and radiant. And there's actually a book written by a trainer that trained at an Arbonne conference and started the phrase, you've got the Arbonne glow, because he was literally taken aback by all the people in the room looked so radiant. And it starts with good inside health, which we can cater to as well. And then this great skincare, and then this skincare based makeup. Okay, so this has anti-aging properties in it. This actual palette in front of me has vitamin E in it. Now, if you would like to use the bronzer, of course, we can go down the neck more. You can enhance your décolletage, your chest area with bronzer, or you can just keep going underneath here to make sure that there's no like white line. You don't want to have, here's my makeup and here's the rest of my body. We really want to blend things, so always be blending. So that's using all of the things that are in this if you want to, and I highly recommend that. Yes, full of vitamin E, so really anti-aging properties. And now we're actually going to go into the eyeshadow, and I've placed my eyeshadow. These all used to come in singular pieces. That's why I've placed my eyeshadow into this magnetic box. However, it now also comes looking a little like this with the white and pink packaging in two different volumes. Volume 1 is more earthy based, so your neutral tones, and then volume 2 is more jewel tones. So check that out. They're beautiful, they're soft, they're velvety, and again, I'm going to use as little brushes as I possibly can. And these are both from the makeup kit. They've just got a different handle. So the ones that you would probably buy online have got a black handle. These ones have got a silver handle. So I'm just going to keep this really simple. I'm going to I'll show you some of the colors again. I'm probably going to go for this color. It's a slightly shimmery brown, chocolate brown, and I might go for that color as well, just to open up our eyes. So that's more like a sand color. All of these will have names on them on the actual palettes as well. But I'm going to start with the sandy color, and I'm just going to pat that all over my eyelid. Now, some people are quite afraid of eyeshadow. If you are, you can use everything in here as eyeshadow as well, okay? So you can use that contour as a brown. I like to do the pink all over with that bigger brush. Just close your eye and literally go blush on your eyelids. That's a really super quick day face, but all of these can also act as eyeshadow as well. So really, really good. But if you want to try something different, maybe go for the neutral tone palette for the eyeshadows, and just play around with the colors. Like, you can actually create some really beautiful looks, and you don't have to be too neat, too perfect. You don't need to really know what you're doing. We're not going to use any eyeliners tonight because I want to keep it as simple as possible. You can see that I'm just patting this color in no particular rhyme or reason, just all over my entire eyelid. And it's brightening up my face. I don't know if you can see, but my face instantly looked a lot brighter because you've got this very neutral shade all over. And then blending basically looks like this. It's circular motions, or it's this. And it's just a nice big fluffy brush, a clean brush that doesn't have a black color on it. It's saying 15% battery. We're going to be fine. But you can pack that on as much or as little as you want. I'm going to pack it on because the camera kind of doesn't show it exactly. You can hold your eyelid up too if you want to get into, see how it pulls the skin? You can see my eyelids are getting a bit crepey with age, but if you pull your eyebrow up from there, you'll actually have a better canvas to work with. And then I'm just going to use a slightly smaller brush that also comes in the brush set, and I'm going to go in with that brown color, and I'm just going to do the corners. See how I'm just kind of dabbing it into the corner and into the crease there. So the crease is just where your eyelid opens up, okay? No particular neatness to it. We're just following that crease along to about here, okay? And no, look how messy that is. No, nothing special, okay? Now this is something that will work with almost every eye shape. So if you have sunken lids and you put shadow on and then you open your eyes and it's disappeared, this will still work because you're putting it just onto the brow bone a little bit as well. So just over that crease. See how it's over the crease? So we're packing pigment in, and these are very pigmented. And if you want to do a smoky eye, I definitely recommend doing the eyes first. But as an everyday face, there's no fall away. There's nothing falling onto your face, so it's fine to use after you've done your foundation. We're just going to get our fluffy brush. Actually, I'll show you something else. This is the concealer brush. It's available on its own, and it's double-ended, so this is what you can actually use to pat your concealer in and then blend it in like that. I actually use it a lot as an eyeshadow brush, and it's a great investment. So I'm actually just going to use that one just to show you how good it blends. I'm going back over that crease and back over that corner a little bit, but in the crease particularly, I'm going over backwards and forwards. See how I've still got my eye open? So I'm going onto that brow bone and just creating like a little shadow that you can see while I've got my eye open and while I've got my eye closed. We're not doing any fancy wing or anything like that, just tidying it up by blending it in. And this just adds a little bit of color and people will actually notice. I did my sister's makeup last time I was in Port Macquarie, and you know, just a 5-minute face, and she was like, wow, okay, I'm gonna actually start using my makeup drawer more often. What am I doing? That took you 2 seconds, and she tried to recreate it the next day, went to work, and everyone was like, wow, what have you done? You look fantastic. So sometimes if you've packed it on a bit, you just need to keep blending that area out. And then we're just going to go back in, same color, small brush, And we're going to go just underneath the eye. We're going to line the bottom of our eye just with a tiny bit of shadow. So no eyeliner needed, just a little bit of shadow. Look at the difference. Now my eye is looking more complete. And I really like this color because it's almost a coppery color. So again, it suits most eye colors and skin tones. Then I'm just getting the bigger brush and I'm just going to go over that because we want to blend that line out a bit. Okay. Now, something I see a lot of older people doing is they wear really heavy dark black under eyeliner, and because they're not getting it exactly in the waterline, it looks gappy and it also is extremely aging. So these darker colors, these darker browns are really subtle and kind of sexy and sultry to actually use as you're getting older instead of the blacks. It's just something to remember. It's just like tone it down a little bit. I think I'm getting it all over my top. Just painted myself. Tone it down a little bit and it will actually make more impact. Okay, so what have I told you about this so far? These eyeshadows are amazing. They're very velvety and soft. They feel fantastic. I don't feel like I have a full face of makeup on at all. They've packed full of cucumber and sunflower extracts to actually condition the eyelid as you go. So you're not doing more damage than you need to. So next up, I'm actually going to go in with this product, which is a brow crayon. Oh, by the way, the eyeshadow palette is $68.80 as a preferred client, and this brow crayon is $37.60 for preferred clients, which is actually quite affordable for the brow products that are on the market at the moment. And you don't need to go and get some pomade and all the fancy things that are actually on the market at the moment. I've even seen the tube, the squeezy tube, and you put it on your hand and then you paint your eyebrow on. Like, that's just way too much work. This is one tool and it actually has a spoolie on the end, so a brow brush on the end, which is fantastic. I've got the dark shade. I do have really dark hair, however I can also get away with the light. It just depends on how dramatic I want my brows to be. And you can see my brows are okay. I'm actually getting them waxed and tinted tomorrow. If you don't like to get your eyebrows tinted, this is your go-to. But just watch, if you've never done brows before, just watch how easy this is. I'm very lightly just drawing hair, like kind of just touching where the hairs are meant to be, you know, because sometimes we overplucked different periods of our life. And I'm just kind of drawing a line very gently with little flicks, a line under the brow. So I'm not going on the top level, I'm going just underneath, okay? And I'm bringing that. Usually our brows are too short, so I'm just bringing that down, drawing the end on right there. Now that looks kind of dramatic, doesn't it? But I'll do the other side and then I'll show you as I brush it through. Again, just little brush strokes. And there's 3 shades in this brow crayon. It's really velvety smooth again, so it's really easy to use. You don't have to be a perfectionist in any way. Just gently hold it at the end so you've got a bit more control. And again, bring that length down because it's going to frame your whole face a little bit better. Now see how dramatic they are looking? We just retract that little crayon, turn it around to the spoolie, and we're just going to brush that through. And brushed up brows are very in fashion, so, you know, don't brush them all the way along and get rid of the color completely, but we're brushing them up a little bit. And then as we get to the end, we're still brushing, but it creates a nice little neat point on the end. Love it. And you don't have to be too dark in the center either. You want to get that kind of ombre look that looks very natural. Okay, so even if you're just filling in a few gaps, if it's the right shade for you, it's just going to blend into your hair and look extremely natural. Like, I don't even know if you can tell that I have any kind of color in there. Brush them right up there. Okay, so face is framed by brows. Love this product and cheap. Okay, we're actually going to set our face now with this product. This is setting spray. A couple of sprays. Now, if you have very oily skin and you want your face to stay all day, First of all, I would recommend either the liquid foundation or the powder foundations. And then I would recommend something like this. This is the mattifying powder. It looks white, but it goes on clear, basically. It's a great product. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but this product, it will set your makeup. It's quite hydrating. It's refreshing. It minimizes shine a little bit, and it protects from pollution. But for a full face of matte makeup, if you are extremely oily, go for your powder products, okay? This has got sea buckthorn oil in it, and that's a botanical that you're going to hear a lot of because for some reason the rest of the world and the rest of the skincare and cosmetics industry has caught up to Arbonne and are putting that into their products. I've seen it a lot in Sephora and Mecca, and I'm like, we've had that for ages. So I'm now using the mascara. This is a long story mascara. You can see the brush is flexible, and it's actually, don't know if you'll get, it's quite like a plastic look, but a flexible plastic. And this is hands down the best mascara I have ever used in my life, and I'll never use anything else. It literally gives you falsy looking lashes if you like to do a couple of coats. But I'm going to show you, look already, I've barely touched it and already you can see the difference. It's infused with vitamins and minerals. It smells like flowers, and it's strengthening your lashes. Okay, so if you've ever heard of Lash growth serum, this basically has that built in, okay? So if you're someone with super sensitive eyelash hairs and you've had extensions done or something like that, and you're finding very gappy lashes, maybe even if you are sensitive to false lash glue and you've lost a lot of your lashes, this is actually going to be so great at repairing and strengthening your lashes again, and it will help them to grow back. Honestly, they have used it with cancer patients in the Look Good Feel Well program, and just had wonderful results because a lot of survivors have actually said that it's when they lose their lashes that they feel least feminine. Isn't that an incredible thing to like be grateful for your lashes? So look after them and put a product on it that isn't going to actually, first of all, poison your eye. So this is ophthalmologist tested. I used to get horrible infections in my eye all the time, and had spiderweb kind of effect of every makeup product that I had. So too much liner and too much really toxic. Usually you can smell mascaras, they smell so toxic, especially the waterproof ones, highly toxic, and that would actually make my eyes water the minute it got close. I'd put it on anyway. I'd put layers and layers on because I like to put layers on. You can see that's one layer. And by the end of the day, I would have none of it left on my face. All my eyes would be red because I'd been rubbing them, and I'd have these stringy pieces of mascara coming out of my actual eyeball. Disgusting, right? I tell this story a lot because it's really important. Your eyes are so, like, you are seeing the world. Obviously, I've just hit that. I'm going to let it dry, and then we'll just be able to scratch it off without it bleeding everywhere. Little tip there. And I like to do my bottom lashes as well. But your eyes are so, so important. You see the world through those. So please don't be poisoning them every single day with something that even you can't stand the smell of. Imagine what your poor eyeballs, if they had smell glands as well, would feel. And just the toxic chemicals so near to your brain. So hair care and makeup and skincare, and especially everything that goes into your eyes and around your mouth, lipsticks as well. You don't want these carcinogenic chemicals leaching into your skin that close to your brain. You don't want them anywhere on your body or in your body. So, you know, drinking Coca-Cola and stuff like that. Again, I'm just giving you some examples of what not to do. It's really hard to see in this mirror. But I'm just going to do one coat so you can see, and then I'll quickly do my bottom lashes because some people are really scared of doing that. But I want to show you that they can look so great. And they don't need to look unnatural at all. Now, something I didn't do with my eye, and you can if you want to, is you can put a tiny little bit of highlighter into the corners of your eyes and just give you that more open effect as well, that more, oh, wide awake. I have had 10 hours sleep kind of look. Okay, so I'm only ever self-taught, terrible at applying it, so only use CC cream and lipstick. Love that. How easy. And to know that you're able to use 2 products that give you, you know, a glow that you're fully capable of using in 5 minutes flat, and you can get them from your consultant, or if you're a consultant, you can get them from your own store. 24/7 in your PJs, don't even have to go anywhere. Delivered straight to your door. Look at that. Look at the difference. I'm obsessed with this mascara, and I've tried a lot. Okay, so that is $40 for PCs, and it contains pea and bamboo extracts to condition and provitamin B5 as well. So just with this, I've dried these little spots. You can just pick them off now because they're dry. If you try and pick them off when they're wet, you're going to have problems. So finally, we're going to finish with these. Are amazing. This is a matte and gloss liquid lip duo. We're going to start with this color. This is Jasmine. We're going to start with this quite pink color. Not going to line our lips or anything like that. A great lip balm from Arbonne is always essential. We also have a lip conditioning kind of treatment, which is an anti-aging like scrub, because your lips don't actually contain oil glands, so often they're very dry. So using the little lip scrub, even with a toothbrush if you want to, if it's not too hard for you, and then some balm, your lips are going to be refreshed, hydrated, looking kissable all the time. But look at that matteness. It's not drying, okay? And the reason it's not drying is because, what has it got in it? Mineralized clay. I actually didn't know that until I looked that up today. So, look how lovely and matte that is without looking like, I don't know if you've ever tried the lip kits, but it looks like there's a ton of paint that has dried on a bare canvas that doesn't have any primer. I'm an artist, so that's the best way that I can describe it. Sometimes when paint dries, it looks like it's cracking, okay, on a bare canvas that doesn't have primer on it. And this doesn't do that at all. It's very lightweight, it's very comfortable. I don't feel like my face is, you know, stuck together. And then if you don't like a matte look, but you like that matte color, this is really long wearing, by the way. Like, you could eat and drink with this and it's not going anywhere, okay? But if you want a little bit of gloss, this is such a beautiful color that suits everyone. So you can see that's quite pink and dramatic. This is actually going to tone it down, and even if we just put it into the center of our lip, it's going to make our lips look a little bit more plump. Look how cute that is, right? I'm going to put it all over the lip because I want to show you how it just neutralizes that color a little bit. It tones that pink down, and it just makes it more approachable and glowy. So I'll get in a closer position. You can now see the full face. You've got the contouring, a little bit of blush, the highlight, some really structured, defined brows. You've got some gorgeous lashes, a little bit of pink and gloss on your lips, and you've barely done anything. A little bit of color around your eyes. So I hope this has been useful. Please get in touch with the person who invited you on. If you liked this and you want to see more, maybe you want to see a night look, let us know. Drop all your questions below. We're going to be on here for a couple of hours, and you know, this group can stay open for the rest of the week. But I hope this has been useful for you, and I look forward to hearing from you or seeing your results. Tag me, tag the person that invited you along in your results if you want to have a try, and make sure you have a look at your use by dates on your makeup. Have a look at the ingredients and really choose better, safer, cleaner products for you and everyone in your family. Thanks everyone. Have a great night. Bye.